Hello everybody, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about free horsepower for your motorized bike, and that has to do with porting, bigger carburetors, different types of carburetors, and higher compression. So first of all, right here, I've got some windowed pistons. This is your standard $25 windowed piston that you'd find on eBay or Zeta Motorsports, which has two windows up here and a little bit of a curve down here. And if you actually look at this piston going up and down in the cylinder, when this piston is at top dead center and the gas is going in, that little slit right there is all that's really helping. These windows, they don't really do much. On the other hand, this piston right here is a homemade piston that I made. You can see that window right there is a lot bigger than the window on the bottom right there. This actually does a lot more because when this is at top dead center, there is absolutely no piston obstructing the port, so you're getting 100% of the gas into the cylinder. Now, this is actually pretty easy to do. Anybody can really do this with a file, a Dremel, a grinder. I believe I did this with a grinder and then took the file to it and cleaned it up a little bit. Now, porting your piston is huge. Porting your piston really helps with your bicycle. It really helps your bicycle engine, and it'll run a lot better and be a lot happier. This piston, as you can see on the top, is shaved down here. That's just for a little bit less compression. And this is the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. High compression cylinder head. This head, you can see on the bottom, has been completely shaved down. If you pull your head off and look at it, you'll see that there's a raised part around here that I've completely shaved off just by grinding it around on sandpaper. And this helps a lot. It gives you much higher compression, which really helps these Chinese engines. As you can see, I've gone over this square bore right here just a little bit with the sandpaper, made it a lot nicer, so the cylinder head will seal much better to that. And then you've got your piston here. So as you can see on the intake side here, when you take your piston and drop it in like that, your piston comes up like that. The gas comes in and then it comes down. Now normally that lip there would be blocking part of the port like this at top dead center. But when you do that, when it's all the way up, it's not blocking the port, so you get all your gas. That really helps your engine run. And along with the shaved cylinder head for higher compression, it's a really good combination. And the other thing is carburation. When you've got higher compression and more air going in and out, you need more gas. Here I have a giant OKO 21mm flat slide carburetor, which is way overkill for this bicycle. Now, this carburetor is very nice, and it does run very rich. I've got the leanest jet I could find in this carburetor, because on your normal engine, that is going to be way overkill. Over here I've got an interesting little setup. This is actually it's a diaphragm carburetor, something like you'd find on like a weed whacker or something. It's pretty small, but it doesn't have a slide or a bowl in it. The gas is all controlled by diaphragms inside of it, and you'll see on Zeta Motorsports, whoever runs that company on YouTube has got some pretty interesting videos with these carburetors. And as you can see, it fits on this ported intake quite nicely, and I'd really like to test it out and see how it runs. I'm very interested in running this. So this is going to be going on that bike right there. So you can see we got a fresh new piston in there, new stuffed Zeta crankcase, and in here we got a ported cylinder, some new cases for it. We're running a 36-tooth sprocket. That piston's brand new, the bottom end's brand new. And then over here, we've got the giant 21mm carburetor. Now, I am probably going to be putting this windowed piston in it and doing a comparison video with this windowed piston. Now, the only problem we have here is this is a Type A piston, and this is a long rod Type B piston. So, pistons aren't going to fit, so I might have to play with the cylinders or just buy a new piston. But this cylinder head is off a Chinese motor, as you can tell. It doesn't really match this Zeta Dio cylinder. And this carburetor right here, this is my favorite one. I got the intake bore on the carburetor bored out a little bit, and the intake on here bored out a little bit. I'm really interested in trying that out, so that's going to be happening soon. But for more free horsepower, pull your cylinder off, take your piston like this, maybe push it all the way up and mark with a screwdriver, scratch into the piston with a screwdriver through the port, and then go ahead and, grind it out like that. Astronomical power gains. It will help your engine so much. The PWK carburetor, OKO carburetor, it's nice, but for these engines, it's big. It's just too big. You shouldn't be running this carburetor on a stock engine unless you've got like a Dio reed. And even with a Dio reed, it's overkill. I mean, this carburetor right here is a lot smaller. Again, it is a diaphragm carburetor. That's why totally different mechanics. But I think it'll run really well with this carburetor. Can't wait to test it out. Well, guys, that's all for this video. Hope you learned something. Hope your bike will go faster.